What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today we are doing a little bit of a retrospective. For those of you who've never seen one, it's completely opinionated besides whatever story elements and things that I throw in that are not opinions. Without further ado, let's get into it. For first overall of the game itself, it is one of my personal favorites. Not just this game, but Bendy as a whole. And I fell in love with this game when I saw Jacksepticeye play it. I watched his playthrough of it, and I loved the concept of just this abandoned Walt Disney-esque studio, cartoon studio, and I remember one of my first thoughts was, wow, who came up with this? And because I thought it was a great idea, and I was quite enjoying it. But I love I love the way the game looks. The whole, everything looks like it's a drawing. Everything looks like it was drawn. And we come to find out later on, because we're stuck in an actual ink machine, and we're just repeating the cycle. How many times? I don't know if we ever find out, but don't quote me on that. But overall, they are some of my favorite games, if not my favorites. But let's get into chapter 1. Very, very bare bones. Just finding stuff, turning stuff on, which is kind of a theme in some of these chapters. But the first chapter is very bare bones, but from what I remember, they didn't exactly expect the game to take off as well as it has, as big as it has. And I had watched some early footage of the alphas and the betas, and it was super, super bare bones. Like it was just kind of thrown together and put out. But now we are to the point where we have all the chapters out. We have a third game out. Technically, the one was Boris and the Dark Survival, which is kind of a side game, in my opinion. And we have a movie coming, and according to them, 2 more games. And I'm excited, but back to chapter 1. Like I said, pretty basic. I mean, you find the ink machine, you raise up the ink machine, then you have to find all these items from the different departments. It's kind of like a ritual of some sort, really. But you have to find 6 of them, put them on these pedestals, and then you can activate this ink machine. Well, you have to clear the flow, then you can activate this ink machine. And that's kind of the beginning of this whole sort of ritual, cult, something like that. And you kind of see at the end of chapter 1, you walk into this room with 2 coffins and this like ritual circle with candles on the ground. And it kind of has some dark undertones right at the start. And with that being said, let's move on to chapter 2. And now we're in chapter 2. And things get a little weirder here. You get down to the music department, and we have a new character.
But love requires sacrifice. Can I get an amen? I said, can I get an amen?
Henry, Wally Franks, and in this chapter, we meet Sammy Lawrence and Norman Polk. Sammy's a weird guy. He's a very weird guy. But this chapter overall is, I'd say a tad more creative than the first chapter. Granted, yes, it is still more collecting stuff and flipping valves and flipping switches, but you get a little bit of creativity with having to remember a musical sequence of instruments and then flipping on the projector, running down, hitting all of them before the projector goes out. But you also have all the Bendy cutouts with his creepy giant smile everywhere. And again, just all sorts of weirdness. And pardon my stuttering, I'm still kind of new at this. But there's all these small messages on the wall. And to go along with kind of the ritual sort of feel of chapter 1, this one kind of amplifies it a little bit, I guess you could say. Because at the end of this chapter, he's like literally sacrificing you to Bendy, or trying.
You'll be dead. Hear me, Bendy. Arise from the darkness. Arise and claim my offering. Free me, I beg you. I summon you, ink demon. Show your face and take this tender sheep. No, my lord, stay back. I am your prophet.
He's dead. So, with that being said, we continue on to chapter 3. And now in chapter 3, we get, well, at the end of chapter 2, we meet Boris. The first character in this game that's actually on our side, not trying to kill us. All of the workers from the studio are just now ink people. We also meet another character in this chapter, Alice Angel. She is actively trying to kill us. But first, she has us do all these mundane collecting tasks. Yes, I know you love it, more collecting tasks. She, sort of as we're going through, when we meet Alice for the first time, we find out she loves torturing. This time, obviously, we're in the toy studio. Not much to say about it because it's a toy studio. It looks like a fairly abandoned toy studio, but we're in a toy studio. Let's move it on to chapter 4. And now we get to a amusement park or theme park sort of feel and theme to it. And we meet some new characters. We meet Bertram Piedmont. And we go to this little haunted house. Or haunted house ride, whatever you want to call it. And we find Brute Boris. After we defeat him, at the end, we see 2 more characters. All of a sudden, another Boris, and another version of Alice Angel. Now we move on to chapter 5. Now we get into chapter 5. And this is the big climax. Everything comes to an end. This chapter starts out with you trapped in a room. She gives you this seeing glass, and there's extra hidden messages on the walls. Sammy makes a reappearance in this chapter where we thought he was dead. But he's not. And he comes back with a vengeance.
Betrayed, abandoned. I trusted you. I gave you everything. You left me to rot. Why?
We get to the archives. We look for the end reel for Bendy, and it's already gone. Bendy's already taken it. We get down to Bendy's lair. Big final boss fight happens. Get through the boss fight, him running at you. You get through where he's busting in the pipes. You go to Joey's apartment. Look around. He's got letters from some of his employees. He has some sketches on a desk, and at this point he's old, decrepit, uses a wheelchair. That's the end of the game. Hi guys, this is post-edit me recording this. I spent a lot of hours, a lot of days doing this, a lot of hours, and I know it's rather short, but I do still hope you enjoy it. Again, I'm not very good at this kind of video. This is my first attempt at it, and I hope I did a good job. And I hope to get some feedback from you guys on if you would want to see another video like this, or if we just want to stick to gameplays and the full gameplays. Because I'm fine with that, because I'm a little camera shy. But regardless, I thank you all for watching. I appreciate and love every single one of you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, people.